Surprise!
Tyrese!
What's up, y'all? It's Tyrese here to surprise my girl, Caitlin. Gatorade has brought back her favorite flavor, Rainberry, now with lower sugar.
Rainberry, best Gatorade flavor that's ever been invented right here.
Try it and tell me if it tastes the same.
Even better than I remember. It's not even close.
And it's got your face on.
So it looked like Caitlin Clark is setting a new standard when it comes to Gatorade, guys, for this one here.
Caitlin Clark just shook up the entire sports industry with one move, and the reaction has been pure chaos. Gatorade made a decision so massive that critics are scrambling to control the narrative. The numbers being thrown around are jaw-dropping, the receipts are circulating, and the backlash already loud and everywhere. Let's unpack why this deal has everybody suddenly acting like a branding expert overnight. First off, how do you feel about Caitlin Clark potentially becoming the new face of sports drinks? Is this deserved or overhyped? Let me know. Now let's get into it. Word around the industry is that Gatorade didn't just re-sign Caitlin. They leveled up in a major way. Reports and insider chatter suggest a deal worth tens of millions, with some estimates climbing toward the $50 million range. Even the second those numbers hit the internet, everything exploded. Social feeds went wild, analysts rushed to give takes, and critics started typing paragraphs trying to argue why this somehow isn't justified. It's almost comical watching people twist themselves into knots trying to explain why the most marketable star in women's basketball shouldn't command top-tier money. Let's be honest here. Caitlin Clark isn't some overnight sensation who got lucky. She transformed women's college basketball into appointment viewing. Casual fans were planning their schedules around her games. People who couldn't break down a basic offensive set were suddenly debating defensive schemes like seasoned scouts. The viewership numbers backed it up. Merchandise flew off shelves. Ticket demand skyrocketed. And now Gatorade's investment reflects that same reality. Here's where it gets even bigger. Yes, Gatorade already had her signed, but this latest move, it's next level. We're talking personalized bottles, exclusive flavor drops, full-scale campaigns with her face everywhere. Remember the limited edition release tied to her? Signature printed, logo range branding, the whole package. It didn't just sell, it vanished. Sold out almost instantly. That's not hype, that's demand. At the same time, Caitlin is preparing for Team USA competition, and recent workout clips show she's only getting sharper. Pull-up threes, off-the-dribble shots, expanded bag. She looks smoother and more confident than ever, like she's fully aware the spotlight is hers now. Meanwhile, Gatorade executives are probably watching the numbers roll in, knowing they made the right call. So why are people so upset? There's a pattern here. Every time Caitlin levels up, the standards magically change. When she shattered scoring records, critics dismissed it as just college. When she went #1 overall in the draft, they predicted the pros would humble her. When she proved she could compete at the next level, suddenly the argument shifted again. Now she's locking in generational endorsement money, and somehow she's overrated or overpaid. The irony is wild. The same voices claiming women's basketball doesn't draw attention are the loudest ones analyzing her endorsement details. If nobody cares, why is everyone watching so closely? Why the endless think pieces? Why the obsession? Because the truth is simple. Caitlin Clark drives engagement. She boosts ratings. She fills arenas. In the business of sports marketing, that's what matters. Brands don't pay for feelings, they pay for impact, and right now, she delivers exactly that. Love her or question her, one thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark moves the needle, and Gatorade just bet big on it.
And Caitlin Clark is breaking the internet for the second consecutive day. Yesterday, we was blessed with new Caitlin Clark workout footage, and I'm here to tell you, today, she is definitely getting in her bag because Gatorade has released a new flavor featuring Caitlin Clark on the cover.
Let's get one thing straight. Gatorade is not a non-profit organization. They're not tossing around millions because they feel inspired. This is a powerhouse corporation that lives off analytics, projections, and cold, hard return on investment. Every dollar is calculated. Every move is strategic. So if they're committing elite-level money to Caitlin Clark, it's because the data told them she's not just worth it. She's undervalued at that price. Corporations at that level don't gamble. They invest. Zoom out for a second. LeBron James locked in a lifetime deal with Nike reportedly worth over $1 billion. Stephen Curry built an entire empire with Under Armour. Patrick Mahomes secured a massive long-term partnership with Adidas. Different leagues, different histories, sure. But in the world of women's basketball, Caitlin Clark landing a mega deal like this, that's seismic. This isn't just another endorsement. It's a line in the sand. It's signals that the financial ceiling for women athletes isn't where it used to be. It tells every young hooper watching that the opportunities are expanding in real time, that the blueprint is evolving, and that's the part that really unsettles people, because it's never just about the paycheck, it's about influence shifting, it's about visibility increasing. It's about undeniable proof that the market is responding to women's sports in a new way, and whether certain critics are comfortable with it or not. Notice the pattern. Anytime a woman in sports smashes through a barrier, there's a loud pocket of resistance that immediately shows up. Progress seems to trigger panic. Take something as harmless as the Indiana Fever's Valentine's Day post. Just a simple graphic of Caitlin Clark with the caption, "My love for you has limitless range." Playful, lighthearted, completely normal. And yet, the comment section still found a way to turn it into discourse. At what point does she just get to exist without every move being dissected like a political headline? And here's another interesting example. When Team USA revealed its roster, the spotlight naturally went to established legends like Aja Wilson, and rightfully so, she's earned that recognition. But when FIBA rolled out its promotional material, who was front and center? Caitlin Clark. That wasn't random. FIBA understands global appeal. They understand audience pull. They know exactly which name attracts the casual viewer and sparks international engagement. Meanwhile, USA basketball has sometimes seemed hesitant, almost awkward, about fully leaning into one of the most magnetic figures in the sport right now. But the numbers don't hesitate. Brands don't hesitate. Global organizations don't hesitate. When someone consistently draws attention, drives conversation, and expands the audience, the market responds. And whether people like it or not, Caitlin Clark has become one of the strongest gravitational forces in basketball today.
Sponsors, Gatorade, Stanley, Nike, it don't matter. Whatever Caitlin Clark goes on, it's an instant hit, and it looked like this new Gatorade flavor Rain is doing the same thing. Now, Caitlin Clark did react to this new flavor, but I just want to pull it up to you and show it to you guys here real quick. So, this is going around. This is Caitlin Clark dropping this. It stated Caitlin Clark favorite flavor.
It's the same strange vibe we saw during her rookie year in the WNBA. The league was gifted one of the biggest mainstream attractions it's had in a long time, a player capable of instantly boosting ratings, and instead of fully embracing it, there was hesitation, subtle jabs from other players, media skepticism about whether the hype was real. All the while, Indiana Fever broadcasts were smashing viewership records. Her jerseys were impossible to keep in stock. Arenas were overflowing with young fans holding handmade posters with her name on them. But sure, let's keep questioning her influence. That's why this Gatorade partnership hits differently. It confirms something bigger than basketball. Gatorade doesn't just align with good players, they align with icons, NFL MVPs, NBA legends, Olympic champions. When a brand with that kind of legacy doubles down on a WNBA athlete, it means they see more than talent. They see global potential. They're not investing in a moment, they're investing in a movement. And yes, some people will roll their eyes and say, why celebrate a wealthy athlete making more money? But that argument misses the point entirely. For decades, women in sports were told to be grateful for whatever scraps they received. The narrative was always that the market wasn't strong enough, that the audience wasn't big enough, that they should just appreciate the opportunity to compete. Meanwhile, male athletes with a fraction of the cultural buzz secured massive endorsement deals without debate. This Gatorade move blows up those old talking points. The audience exists, the demand exists, the money exists. What the industry needed was a superstar who could break through the mainstream barrier, and Caitlin Clark did exactly that. She didn't ask for validation, she didn't tone herself down, she simply performed at such a high level that brands had no choice but to respond. Look at the limited edition flavor launch tied to her name, a special bottle, her signature, clean branding. That's it, no over-the-top rollout, no celebrity-packed commercials, and it sold out almost instantly. Shelves cleared because her name alone carried weight. That's real star power. What's even more telling is how quickly critics pivot. The moment her success becomes undeniable, the conversation shifts to, but what about this player? What about that one? And let's be clear, there are incredible talents across the league. Acknowledging Caitlin's cultural pull isn't diminishing anyone else's skill. This conversation isn't just about box scores, it's about reach. It's about who brings new eyes to the sport. It's about who turns casual observers into invested fans. Caitlin Clark didn't just play great basketball, she made women's basketball part of everyday pop culture conversation. Timing matters too. Fresh off a historic rookie campaign, she's preparing for Team USA competition and simultaneously becoming one of the most visible faces in sports marketing. And if you've watched her recent training clips, it's obvious she's not slowing down. Her off-the-dribble game looks sharper. Her confidence looks higher. She's leveling up in real time. Meanwhile, her brand portfolio keeps expanding. Nike, State Farm, Gatorade, and more. That's not luck. That's leverage. The most fascinating part is watching the storyline unravel. Before the draft, critics said her game wouldn't translate. After she proved she could compete, the standards shifted. Now that she's locking in generational wealth, the narrative becomes, she just got fortunate with endorsements. At some point, the pattern becomes undeniable. Gatorade has partnered with legends for decades. They don't operate on guesswork. Their decisions are fueled by research, consumer data, and long-term projections. If they're positioning Caitlin Clark as a cornerstone of their brand, it's because the metrics are overwhelming. Focus groups respond, sales respond, audiences respond. But sure, let's pretend anonymous social media experts understand sports marketing better than a global corporation that's been dominating the industry for over 50 years. The ripple effect of this deal will extend far beyond one athlete. Other brands are paying attention. Other players are recognizing what's possible. The financial ceiling for women's sports just moved higher. Doors that once seemed locked are starting to swing open. This isn't simply about one player securing a massive contract. It's about reshaping the business landscape of women's athletics. Somewhere, a young girl is walking through a grocery store, spotting Caitlin Clark's face on a sports drink bottle, and realizing something powerful. Women athletes can be superstars. They can command global attention. They can build empires. That shift in perception? That's bigger than any dollar figure attached to a contract. So while critics keep debating, Caitlin keeps advancing. With every endorsement, every sold-out product, every packed arena, the message gets louder. The future of the game looks different now. And honestly, that's how change happens.